Today we are going to watch a phase change happen from liquid to gas and back to liquid while we create a cloud inside of a jar. So I'm going to go ahead and get this started and then we'll explain what's going on. Hairspray is optional, but it makes this go a little bit easier. Makes it a little bit easier to see. So if you want to do this along with me at home, you just need a clear vase or a jar that has hot water in it. It's important that this is hot water. And then on top, you just have a plate or a bowl with ice cubes in it. The more ice, the better, because what we're trying to do here is make a sharp difference between the cold on top and the hot water on the bottom. So I'm going to let you watch how this experiment unfolds now. The hairspray that I sprayed inside of that jar is something that we call condensation nuclei. You're about to watch water go from its liquid phase, which you see down here, to a gas, which you're seeing develop up here. Notice how the jar is a little bit more cloudy. That's actually not the hairspray. That's water vapor. And then over the next about 60 seconds, you will watch this water vapor condense back into a liquid. It's fascinating. And this is how clouds develop as well. It's all part of the water cycle that you learned about as a kid. The hairspray I mentioned is what we call condensation nuclei. It basically just gives the water vapor an object that it can condense onto. Makes that whole process a little bit easier. You are watching right now. This is so cool to see. You can see some of the water vapor molecules moving around in the top of this jar. Keep your eye on the top of the jar. It is so cool to see. So what's going on in the big picture? You've got hot water down here at the bottom. Because it's so warm, it evaporates into its gas form, water vapor. Normally you can't see this. Again, the hairspray helps a little bit, just kind of visualize what's going on. And once that water vapor reaches the top of the jar and meets the cold at the top, provided by the ice cubes, it will start to condense back to its liquid form. Now to watch this develop, you're going to want to watch the outside of the jar. We're starting to see some of it develop just here above the water's edge. This is the hard part to simulate. You've got to have a sharp difference between the hot water and the cold ice cubes on the top. So we'll let this develop for a few more seconds here and you can see how this experiment evolves. All of this shows you how clouds are formed, but it's not just clouds. Fog forms the exact same way. Fog is just a cloud down here at the ground. So now you're watching the final parts of this experiment unfold. On the edges of that jar, you can see the water vapor condensing back into its liquid form. This is something that's easy to do at home. Hot water, cold ice cubes, a tray to separate the two, and hairspray if you want to help speed up the process a little bit.